Alrighty, folks. Sorry about the way I had to load up the tier list. Let's see. Alrighty. I had to load up the tier list, see if it was working, and we finally got the tier list. I know that Jason Myers had asked for a retro game tier list, but there's too many retro games to do for a tier list. And that would take hours and hours upon end, and I still have to go join Jack Hobson's live stream. So I decided to shorten it by doing a retro game console tier list. Okay. This is something I don't normally do on my channel with this tier list. I did on my old channel. Wasn't really into it, but for you guys, the people, I'll do a tier list. I got my man bun in tonight because it's pretty hot in here. I've got my Celtic necklace on for luck. So without further ado, let's pop some bottles. Okay. And let's pour the wine and cut the cheese. Let's do this because we're going to need to stay hydrated for this. All right. Look at the scrolling cap. All right. Now that we poured the wine and everything, well, it's not alcoholic wine, but still. Anyway, let's get into the tier list before y'all get bored. I know y'all been waiting for this for a couple of days now. I'm gonna share screen real quick. I don't think I need to share full screen. So I think all we need to do is share. I'm not gonna share audio because there's really no audio. So, all right, just make sure this is all set. Okay, cripes almighty. Let me make sure it shares properly. All right. All right, that should be it. Here's the retro game console. Okay. Tier list. These are all the retro game consoles that were loaded up. All right. This is what was loaded up so far. So okay. We have what looks to be a PS2 Wii system. I'm only going to do the consoles that I played. That's why it's going to be short. The consoles I haven't played, I'm going to leave off. So, like some of these consoles I haven't played, like this one, which looks like the Commodore 64. That one I've never played. Xbox. PSP I've never played, but these Sega ones I played. So there's only going to be like two consoles that I don't list because I haven't played them, but the rest of them I've pretty much played. So let's get into it. We're going to start with PS2. PS2, man. PS2 was one of my first game consoles ever played and all that. PS2 was one of my first game consoles. It's alright, but I have to put it in like the A tier because it was great graphics and all that. It's definitely one of the best consoles I ever played. A tier, definitely, most definitely. Now, I'm going to do a one shittier console. I'm going to do a shittier console, in my opinion, which is the original Xbox. That one I'd put in the C because it's a good console and all that. You can record songs onto your console and everything from discs. But my issue with it was the graphics. The games itself weren't that good. So, all right. Next one I'm going to go with is the N64. That is legendary S tier. N64 is my channel description. Is literally the first freaking console that I've ever owned as a kid. It was my first actual retro game console that I personally owned as a kid. I didn't own other game consoles, okay? I owned the retro N64 game console. I actually have one in storage as we speak. Now, I'm going to go with the next console I own in storage, which is also an S tier. And then NES. NES is top of the line. I love the games and all that. It's really cool. I own an NES plug and play in storage. It's going on the tier list. Now, let's go to, I wonder if the Game Boy SP is on here. I don't think it is. But I'm going to go with the Game Boy. the Game Boy, regular Game Boy. The Game Boy I have to put on the D tier because of the color graphics and all that. The retro of it's really nice and all, but I have to put on D tier. Now the Game Boy Color, that's a B tier because it's a nice Game Boy, but the grip of it is so hard to handle. It's really hard to handle. I can't deal with it. Now I'm gonna get some people hating on me, I'm pretty sure, but Wii Remote, F tier. We're, in my opinion, now this is only my opinion. You're allowed to have your opinion, but the Wii console is one of the worst consoles because you have to. My issue is the Wii remote's not always charged properly, and honestly, it's like you have to point it at a sensor, which doesn't help whatsoever. It's not a good Wii console, game console. Now, okay, let me get some winners here. Game Boy Advance, that's good. Oh, I didn't even put that there. Game Boy Advance, A tier. Game Boy Advance, I'd have to say, is an A tier because it's got better handling, like a game holder thing, and it's one of the best consoles for playing games. I also emulate Game Boy Advance exclusively. Now, GameCube. Okay, that's another one I'm gonna put on the S tier. I love GameCube. It was when it came out. It's the now GameCube is the second. I'm gonna put that. Oh crap! I'm gonna put that right there in between here because that's the second retro console I've ever owned. GameCube is the second retro console, like controller and system console I've ever owned. Like in my first years of getting game consoles, I owned a N64, then GameCube, and then recently an NES plug and play. Now, the second, but really the third console I've owned, not the NES, but I owned the PS2 next, and then the NES plug and play, of course. All right, I'm gonna go with the DS next. DS C tier. Now the DS Lite is not a bad console. The sense of touching a touchscreen console is always nice. I liked playing the DS when I had it. I had so many cool games for the DS, like Scribblenauts. I loved it. You can actually get Scribblenauts remix on the App Store for a decent price. All right, now let's go with. I think that's an Xbox 360. Yeah, that's Xbox 360. Xbox 360 also is also C tier, and it goes with the X or the Xbox. Now, Xbox 360 was not a bad console, but the problem was it was hard to play online, so you had to pay for it. That's my main issue. Now, PlayStation, it's also on the C tier because of a stupid PlayStation Plus. That's just my opinion. Now, oh my heart. I'm gonna go with for I don't know which Sega this is, but I think it's Sega Genesis. The first I'm gonna put Sega Genesis first here. I'm gonna put the Sega Genesis in front of N64 because Sega Genesis is actually the first ever console not owned by me but played by me. The first game I ever played on Sega Genesis was Mortal Kombat at the age of 4 years old. No joke. It was a game I played at 4 years old. So now I'm gonna get into some real artwork here. Oh shit. Now I'm gonna go with the Sony PlayStation on S tier. The Sony PlayStation has had a special place in my heart. The original, anyway. Because Sony PlayStation was a great freaking console. I never owned it, but I played the games on PS2 when I had it. Now, SNES, A tier. I don't like the SNES games. They're alright, but not as good. I believe this is a PSP. PSP, I definitely give the D tier because I played a PSP. Now, this is a Sega Mega Drive, I believe. That's also A tier. Sega Dreamcast, A tier. Both the Sega Dreamcast and Mega Drive are very good gameplays. This is my S tier, so let me explain my tier list. Sega Genesis, um, N64, GameCube, NES, and PlayStation. Those are my S tiers because those were the games I liked the most. Consoles that I actually owned or played first. Then those PS2, Game Boy Advance, SNES, and the two other Segas. Those are alright. I like them. I've actually played the Sega Dreamcast game, Crazy Taxi. It's a wonderful game. The only B tier game console that I actually somewhat like was the Game Boy Color. And if they included Game Boy SP, I would put that on A or B tier. So C tier. Um, Xbox Original, DS, Xbox 360, and PlayStation 3. Now, I think I can easily say I can move PlayStation 3 to B tier because I love playing Little Big Planet on PlayStation 3. It was a wonderful game to play. So D tier, Game Boy Original and PSP Original. Loved Game Boy and all, but the handling was horrible and the Game Boy graphics was horrible. PSP, horrible game system in my opinion, but to each their own. But it was such a tiny screen it hurt my eyes. And bottom right F tier, um, Wii remote, signal sucks, and all that. Um, so I guess that's our tier list. So. Okay. Let's examine that. I don't know how long we've been doing this for, but let's see. 18 minutes. Oh well. All right, folks, please hit that like button, subscribe, don't forget to leave a commentary in the screen. Next list is favorite cartoons from 2000. We'll see about that, Legend. I was thinking about doing my favorite Elder Scrolls games on tier list, but okay, I'll do one from the 2000s. We'll do Nickelodeon shows at some point, but I'm thinking about doing Elder Scrolls games first. We'll see, but I'm gonna do some gaming streams before I get to another tier list. Hit that like button, subscribe. Don't forget to leave a commentary in the description below. If you like this video, you want to see more of it, I'll see you later. May the retro be with you. Stay retro. Remember, if you're not retro, you're repo. Live long and prosper, peace and long life, and kapla. And don't forget, if you haven't seen this full video, either restart or please be kind to Ryan. And I'll see you later, bricklayers. Bye, guys. I gotta go over to Jack Hobson's stream. I think it's him.